Hi there, folks. My name's NovaWrap, and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings-on from the week that was. So, yes, I am back, and this is the episode for Sunday, the 8th of September 2019. And I do apologize in advance for the possible poor quality of this recording. I am currently on the road. Also, one of the reasons why this release is a little late. I am back in Australia, but I have actually had to go interstate due to some medical reasons. So you will have to forgive me a little bit under the weather, but yes, also, as I said, away from my equipment. But nevertheless, the news must go on. So we're going to get there you go, tongue tied already, haven't even started. We're going to kickstart the news this week with the release from Nimbus Simulations of their rendition of the UH1 Huey for X-Plane 11. Now, this has been a release that's been long awaited and long rumored and long hinted at by Nimbus Sims. And it comes to us with a beautifully high detailed 3D model with full implementation of 4K and PBR textures throughout the interior and exterior. Now, the guys from Nimbus have actually gone all out in terms of their system modeling here as well. And it's from the reviews, it's actually sort of tripping up a few people as well. But my good friend Belgeode has actually come through done a really detailed startup tutorial video. So make sure you head over his channel to check that out if you are having troubles. Otherwise, yes, this is an incredibly high detailed model. So a lot of systems a lot of system modeling has been done here for all the fuel, electric, hydraulic systems, full system logics all put through as well. And one of the things that's really underestimated is the sheer amount of vibration that happens through helicopters. Like those things, they're noisy, shaky, quirky little beasts of aerial burden. The guys at Nimbus have really tried to actually sort of cover that off, and the fact that that basically helicopters just vibrate so much the earth rejects them. So they've done this really well through here. There's a whole slew of features that have come through here as well. Including a maintenance module, so you can actually sort of so you can sort of up the notch on the realism. Just I'm shuddering with that term. Anyway, but you can actually go through things like actually requiring your helicopter to be maintained in terms of like certain a lot of the engine parts. The engines, for example, need to be overhauled, need to be reviewed at certain key points, or otherwise your performance will degrade and will be affected, and you could end up blowing things up. They've also included an interactive co-pilot module as well, so you can actually explore some of the other features of the aircraft, including the side-mounted door guns as well, which is kind of cool. As I said, a variety of various accessories and modifications are included, including access to doors open, doors closed, doors on, doors off, wire cutter on the front, or a door guns or side guns as well, also included. Full set of interactive checklists included as well, and some other sort of tips and things to go through to help you train with the helicopter. So, come through looking pretty damn amazing. In Belgio's words himself, he said it is the greatest of the rendition of the UH1. It said the only one that beats it is the one for DCS, and that's only because he can blow stuff up with it. So that's a pretty resounding rendition, sort of ovation coming from Belgio there. So if you want to check this one out, this one's available from the xplane.org store, coming in at 38 US dollars, or your original equivalent, available now. Continuing on with flight simulation releases, but moving into the world of ESP, the guys over at UK 2000 have released their latest scenery this week with the release of their Inverness Extreme 2019. So Inverness is an airport they've done previously, but they've rebooted it now to how it appears during 2019. And they come through and actually using it as a bit of a technology showcase for some updates that they're doing, and they're going to be planning to bring out to their range as the year, as the future goes on. They've come through here with high definition textures throughout, including 2K textures as a minimum, and full implementation of true PBR materials on all main buildings and ground textures as well. So a lot of work's gone into this one. Full set of the airport, as I said, appears during 2019, including accurate ground markings, accurate satellite imagery for the airport and surrounding areas, high detailed airport vehicles, accurate set of runway signs, fencing, and a range of GA static and airliner static aircraft for the airport as well. Fully compatible with a variety of other scenery add-ons as well, including FTX, Orbix's FTX Global, Orbix's FTX England, and Not Great Britain. So this is yeah. So Orbix's Great Britain North hasn't come out yet, but look, I'm guessing that it would want to be it's compatible with that. Compatible with other photoreal scenery, so that would be the Just Flight's VFR range, and also compatible with all ESP platforms at launch. There is also, but X-Plane users do not despair. They have confirmed, the UK 2000 guys have confirmed that they are releasing a X-Plane 11 version in the coming weeks, so you won't have long to wait. So this one's coming in at 23 US dollars, or your original equivalent, available now from the UK 2000 store. It was a fairly light release week for Flight Sim this week. I've got quite a few news articles kicking around, but in terms of releases, very little coming out in the last week. So we're going to move away from Flight Sims and we're going to go into space now with a couple of releases this week over on the Steam platform. The first one is Starpoint Gemini 3. So this is an interesting one, actually. So obviously, funny enough, the third in the Starport Gemini series. Um, and this is it's always an interesting one. This one, it reminds me very much of Freelancer. And I've looked at the previous renditions of this one and two before, and as I said, they really remind me of Freelancer a lot. It's very much geared towards single player stories. So it's all about it's almost more of an RPG than a sim, but it actually, there is, you actually have space combat, so there's a lot of sim in here as well. And you can do it from third party view, sort of third person view. You can do it in the cockpit, but it's all about exploring your like the universe around you, and it's a fully destructible, fully interactive scenery as well. So you can go through a variety of different roles that you can have through the sim. As I said, I'm not going to go into this too much, but as I said, it's looking pretty amazing. It's of the largest game universe in the Starport Gemini series, spanning across 3 different planetary systems. Complete set of RPG skills as to go with your sim experience, full action-packed space combats, different play styles, and on-the-fly weapon switching, modular ship upgrade system, a crafting system as well, and a unique chance to explore a very detailed storyline. So, as I said, looking pretty cool, looking pretty awesome. This is currently in early access, so you won't get access to everything so you get access to some things at launch, but there is more to be developed soon. If you purchase it now, if you haven't had the previous experience to the Starpoint Gemini series, this one also includes a free copy of Starport Gemini 2 if you are purchasing it during early access. So if you are wanting to pick this one up, you can pick this one up for 20 US dollars, or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. Continuing on with other space releases this week, and another early access release with Danger Space. Now, I actually thought about not including this in the news this week, but I decided I did want to do it because this one's again an interesting sort of blend of different genre styles. So this time though, we've got the simulation style when you're actually sort of as your space combat sort of thing, but then you've got a real-time strategy element. Now this sort of comes on the back of as I said, one of those announcements that sort of came through the community this week of Homeworld 3 coming soon, which is coming to a platform near you soon. Um, and this one really has a very interesting thing, as I said, because it's going through a simulation, and it reminds me very much. And actually, the actual developers of this attribute a lot of their inspiration back to the old Battlezone title back from the 90s, where you had the first person, where you had a simulation element where you were flying a combat ship in space, but there is a strategy element as well, or a real-time strategy element where you have to sort of base building and base maintenance as well. So that's very much come through here. So it's got unique sort of space flight physics here. Full modeling of various different spaceship systems are included as well, but it also includes, as I said, a strategic side. We can actually sort of have to place and move different ships around and actually maintain a fleet as well as your own ship. You've also got to go through it's a different dynamic campaign as well, with simple fleet management, as well as a non-linear story as well. So it's kind of cool, kind of interesting. Not something we normally report on, but as I said, it looks kind of interesting. As I said, it is in early access at the moment, so there is a bit of a discount at the moment. So the normal price is 25 US dollars, or original equivalent, coming in at about 10% off at the moment, so about 22 US dollars at the moment. So not even that, I suppose. It's is it 10% off? 15% off at the moment. If you want to pick that one up, available now on Steam. Moving back into things a bit more real and moving back down to ground level, the guys over at Train Simulator saw a couple of releases this week. So the first one we saw for Train Simulator 2019 was the release of the Deutsche Bahnhof BR425 electric motive unit. So this is part of their Pro range, and actually this was a series of trains built of electric motive units built in the starting starting to be built in 1999, and would go on to be actually sort of built several hundred of these units. 249 units, in fact, were actually sort of built and actually would operate throughout all of the European, all of the German rail network. Now, this particular one, they've gone through and did a highly detailed rendition of the. Oh, sorry, one second. The highly detailed rendition of the one of the early units of this one, which is actually one of which is the main subclass of the unit. Which is the first of the subclasses, which is suitable for the Regio services across Germany. So a lot of sort of passenger services coming through there. Now, this comes through as a highly detailed rendition of the unit, including a full interactive cockpit setup with prototypical bright driving behavior, full model and implementation of the LCB, PCB 90 and TimeTime CIFA systems. A variety of different scripting engines are enabled as well. Fully automatic and or manual door control systems are switchable and implemented as well. Adjustable driver seat height, variety of other things here, including a optional cold start procedure as well. So again, it's interesting to see that it's something that very much started in a flight simulator world. The desire to be having cold and dark starts is very much moving its way into other simulation platforms, which is kind of cool. So not only do you get this one, you also get 3 career scenarios are included as well. However, in order to be able to use the career scenarios, you do require the West Rhine to Koblenz route add-on to be included to be in your library as well. Otherwise, if you want to pick this one up to enjoy one of the newer additions to the Deutsche Bahnhof fleet, you can pick this one up for about the standard price for $20 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. In the other release for Train Simulator 2019, we saw another scenario pack come out this week, which was this time the Springfield Line scenario pack. So this is sort of as it calls itself, a return to classic era of American railroading and glory days of the legendary New Haven Railroad. So basically, this explores the sort of parts of New Haven and Connecticut and Massachusetts go throughout the 1950s and 1960s with a variety of different scenarios to give you some experience of some of the many different lines and different services that would actually have come through here. Now, for this one, you do have to have, obviously, funnily enough, the Springfield line, Springfield to New Haven route. It is required for this one. Otherwise, it just uses the trains that are actually included with that one. So 10 scenarios for this one, coming in at $10. So pretty reasonable price, pretty standard price for this one for the scenario pack. Looking good if you want to expand your train simulation journey. Sticking with ground level, but moving on to the asphalt, the guys over at Euro Truck Simulator 2 released their latest piece of DLC. You know, it's been a long, yeah, Euro Truck Simulator 2 has been out for a long time and they're still producing content for it. I'm really impressed by that. Anyway, moving on. So this is the Actros Tuning Pack. So this basically comes through with a variety of different modification bits to your trucks. Don't really know what else to say about it because it's a whole slew of random stuff. Like you've got mud flaps, bumpers, bull bars, grills with lights, masks with lights, windshield frames, stone guards, you name it, this thing's got it. There is an insane amount of stuff here. So basically, if you want to be able to chrome your virtual truck, you've got a part for you in here as well. So covering I think it's about 15 probably about 15 different add-on parts for the exterior, as well as a range of interior sets, including dashboard sets, driver's plate, co-driver's plate, windshield sensors, curtains, and light boards, all included as well. So fairly basic deal, pretty good deal for this one, coming in at $4 or your regional equivalent, available now on Steam. Continuing on with the ground level, the guys over at OMSI 2 saw a new scenery sort of area opened up this week with the release of Munich City. So this is the rendition of the, as they call it, the heartfelt cosmopolitan city of Munich. So this is go through with driving a series of modern land line city buses throughout Munich and all its scenic areas, including Schwabing, Maxvorstadt, Lehal, Heidhausen, and Bogenhausen. Includes a variety of Munich's most famous landmarks, including the Peace Monument, the Art Gallery, and the Chinese Tower, and a few other ones of these through there. You get over 30 kilometers of bus routes, and over 45 stops are included in primarily around the Museum Line 100, University Line 153, or 150, coming through the variety of the areas as well. So coming through here, pretty awesome. Coming through here, modern range of modern vehicles. Latest repaints and bus advertisements with correct fonts are also included, along with realistic bus schedules and bus network plan. Also includes fully functional passenger information displays and bus announcements for the routes. So again, another highly detailed set here. There is also a free demo, a feature limited, time limited demo available. So if you're not sure if it's going to work for you, you can put the demo in and check it out before you buy it, which is always great to see. Otherwise, if you want to pick this one up, you're looking at $25 or your regional equivalent, available now on Steam. Continuing on with releases, but moving to a bit more recreational this time with fishing. So, two different fishing titles saw releases this week, and actually stuff that got very interesting. Anyway, so the first one is Dovetail Games Fishing Sim World with their release of their Pro Tour Tournament Bass Pack. So this is a two-lake pack coming through, which is Lake Seminole and Lake Jordan. And coming through with give you a range of angling challenges and new fishes to come through. So Lake Seminole is found in Georgia, the US, near the Florida border, with a climate that is ideal for largemouth bass. And with a one coming through here, you got you have a single size. The largest specimen of a catfish that's in here is over 35 pounds. So this is there for challenge for you to catch. The Lake Jordan map is situated in Chatham County, North Carolina. And there's a man-made reservoir, and again has a variety of fish, including a huge catfish coming in at over 44 pounds. So quite a few challenges here. Got a variety of islands on the lakes to explore as well. So looking pretty cool if you want to expand your fishing locations. You're looking at $15 or your regional equivalent, available now on Steam. In the other fishing release this week, freemium of fishing sim Fishing Planet saw the release of their Mighty Carp Tournament pack this week. So this one comes through with a range of new rods, reels, tackles, equipment, and of advanced fishing license or premium licenses, along with a few sort of bait coins and premium account features coming through here as well. So again, for those who do it, basically it's a free base game, but again, it's kind of pay to win with the premium accounts. So kind of like the War Thunder model, really. And if you want to get this one up, so you can pick this one out with a range of premium currency coins, as well as the 7-day premium pack license coming in at $20 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. And finally, rounding out the simulation release news for this week. This is an interesting one that I've highlighted previously on the show, but I've done a bit more digging and learned a bit more about it this time round. So this week we saw the release of Real Flight 9. Now, Real Flight is a series of I'll call them flight sims because they're flight sims, but they're not designed to actually fly a real airplane. They're designed flight sims for flying remote control aircraft, and they pride themselves on claiming to be the most realistic remote control flight simulators. And from the reviews that are kicking around, the community generally seems to agree with them. Couple of points to note about this one though, and I remember when I reviewed RF8 when it came out a couple of years ago. I did sort of note that it reminded me of something, and I couldn't place the engine. I figured it out now through researching it a bit more. Basically, it's flight gear. It's the free open source flight simulator that's been kicking around and unfortunately been made into taken advantage of many unsuspecting buyers over the years when they purchase Virtual Earth or whatever those other sort of attempted fraudulent sims were. Flight Gear is an open source flight simulator. It's a bit tricky. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's around, and some people make it look really, really beautiful. Real Flight essentially is that, but repackaged and optimized just for representing remote control aircraft. So just bear that in mind. It is, however, it does include licensed aircraft, so it's licensed, has licensed content from E-Flight, Hobby Zone, Hangar 9, and Blade, all various high quality remote control aircrafts manufacturers and retailers. Just a couple of things though to be wary of. And this was the same as I remember when I reported on Real Flight 8. That to get the best use out of this, if this is actually sort of designed as where simulation sort of meets training and reality, where this is a great way to actually be able to practice flying a remote control aircraft without running the risk of destroying your, several $1,000 new remote control aircraft. But as such, it is designed to be used with a remote control aircraft controller. So something like it is actually optimized for the Interlink DX controller is what it's optimized for. So you can actually either purchase it directly just as the software only for $100, or you can pick it up with the controller for 180. Now they do ship globally, which is kind of cool, which is new because that was an issue that previously there. I believe they only shipped to Europe and to America before, but it looks like they do ship pretty much everywhere in the world now, which is great to see. At a cost, of course. So if you're looking at sort of getting into remote control aircraft, but maybe don't want to sort of run the risk of actually spending $1,000 to have it wrecked 5 minutes after you get it, this might be a good opportunity for you to actually sort of get some practice in and get some time in and get some used to it, and that's what it is good for. Theoretically, the developer does say that you can use any other sort of controller, so an Xbox controller should be theoretically able to work with it. But as I said, it is optimized and designed to work with the Interlinks controller, so do consider getting that one if you want to get that. As I said, otherwise available from the Real Flight website or Steam, available now for a significant amount of money. And with that, folks, as I said, that does round out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. All right, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.